You got Rob.
Man, I want to talk about the belts, the sanctioning body with the belts and stuff. And I hate the belts. I hate the belts, man. Uh, I think Floyd, and a lot of these other great boxers, more Floyd, because Floyd got a bigger. To me, he got the biggest following out of any boxer that's boxing that's alive. He more influential than any other boxer that's alive. To me, Floyd is. Floyd can create his own belt. I don't know what he would call it, but I think these boxers would these boxers would cherish, or they would want his belt over the other belts. So I think Floyd is one of the guys that can create his own belt, and it'll trump. I think it'll trump all of them other ones. WB, all of that. He would. I think he would blow them out. Floyd is one of them ones that can create. He can he can create a commission for boxing. He just has so much pull in boxing. When you still see boxing, you see Floyd. You don't. It ain't like it overshadowed him.
So would this belt be just pretty much another belt as another sanctioning body, or would it represent more of a ranking system or like a league type of system to like for certain fighters, or how would that?
Um, More of what you said. How you with the rank with the more of ranking system pretty much. You got the champ, then you got the number one contender, and so forth. Go down the line to maybe five. Stop at five. When you get in the top five, and I got something on the head that you mentioned, and I want you to bring that up about I the anime thing, the anime guy you was talking about.
Got you.
Uh, they don't know about it, but I want you to bring that up.
Oh, speaking on the Afro Samurai,
Yes,
the number one and the number two headband.
and
Yeah.
talk about that part right now. Talk about that.
So the way that would work, like that reference is from Afro Samurai. The guy with the number one headband can only be challenged by the guy with the number two headband. But while you have the number two headband, anybody can challenge you at any time.
So
Anybody. It
so the
doesn't matter the rank. It doesn't matter their level, their skill, whether they have fans, who did they fight. None of that matters. They
so the
challenge
second
you.
rank can get challenged by
You get
anybody under
challenged by
him.
everybody. Like you're
Okay,
you're essentially the gatekeeper to get them to the number one guy.
got you.
So if you're not interactively negotiating to fight that number one guy, these other guys can come and challenge you at any given time and make you and force you into fights. And what that would do is, instead of people wanting to chase after the guy with the belt, everybody would be fighting each other. Everybody would be fighting. That's
Okay,
the kind of
yeah.
system that would create. So I mean, I feel like a number one and a number two ranking system would be cool based off of what you said as far as like them creating another belt system.
Yeah,
What
I
I
just
did
think Floyd is the one that I believe. I
so
mean,
what I want to ask you, I don't want to mean to cut you off.
no,
So
go ahead, brother.
how would that work as far as, let's say, let's use let's use 135 for example. I'm Devin Haney. I'm deciding to stay at 135, but I have all four belts already. How
Hmm.
am I? Um would that hurt my chances of getting into your ranking system, or would those belts that I already have not apply to your ranking system? Would that be something totally different? How would that work?
So my thing is with that is with Floyd, like I said, with Floyd, how influential he is. You know, his belt would oversee all of them other ones. So
Gotcha.
Devin wouldn't want them belts no more. I
Got,
want this belt. This belt is the one that proved that I'm, because every fighter wants this belt. He don't want the other four belts
I got you.
because
So
Floyd got the. Go ahead.
so say if he did decide to keep them, would he still be eligible to sign into that ranking system, or would like similar to like how the ranking system is? Say if I have the WBA belt, I fall out of the rankings in the IBF, unless I unify
Yeah,
with the champ
man,
directly.
I would tell him to get. I mean, if that's the case, every fighter is complaining about these belts. Why
Right.
not get rid of the whole system?
Right. So
You know,
so so
why not
your,
get rid
your
of the whole
system would
system?
be more of a whole, like whether you have a belt or not is based on your ranking as a fighter.
Your rankings, your
Got
ranking. You know, your
got
ranking. You know, the first number one contender always get a title shot. You know, you lose, you bump down. You know,
got you.
yeah, and it just it make like we always say, the best gotta fight. If you want to be the champ, you want to
Yeah.
be considered the best gotta fight the best.
Right,
This
right,
will kill all this stuff. I mean, it seems like we always picking on. We love Canelo, and we always picking on it, but Canelo is one of them ones. Canelo hopped from weight, 3 different weights, man. He can do that because of his name. You know, he fight how people say he cherry pick. He fight this lower tier person, then he can wait like he's trying to do now. You know, fight a man off a 2 year layoff, and you know, with that ranking system, bro, you ain't gonna be considered the best. I mean, because I don't know how you still can be considered the best or one of the top in the pound for pound, bro. You fighting somebody who ain't fought in 2 years, you know. So that's
right.
all I'm saying. But yeah, I just think they need a new belting system, man. A new, you know, a whole thing needs to be changed
That,
up,
I mean
man.
that would be a great idea, because like I said, that would stop and let you know who's ducking who from that point forward. If, like I said, if you have that number two, or you're in the number two position in your ranking the system, and you're not
Yeah,
challenging that number one guy, because you're the head challenger, the number one guy has to be challenged. It's how it will be held.
right.
If you're not
Right.
challenging him, that lets you know, okay, you don't want to fight that guy. You're ducking. Like,
Yeah.
so everyone
Yes.
under
Yes.
you, everyone under you can come and challenge you and knock you off that throne to get
Yeah.
to that number one guy.
And see,
And
Tim had my bad, bro.
no,
Tim
you
had
good.
one that he thought I liked the idea of it. I just, you know, it's still kind of separating. But Tim, bring that in. What I'm, you know, what I'm talking about with you on this topic right here.
Oh, yeah, I was saying instead of one build, I think it should be two builds. Just because it's so many fighters in a division, if you give two belts, you still had that unification bout. You know what I'm saying? So you both fighting for, you know what I'm saying, a belt. Sometimes, I mean, of course, somebody can become undisputed and win both the belts, but at least it'll give it a little bit more, some of those title fights, it'll give it a little bit more like of an edge, kind of like how we looking at.
See, I liked it, Tim. But the only reason I'm cutting you off now because I think the UFC got one belt in each division. It's possible. They can do it and clean up the sport, you know.
Right,
It's
right.
Yeah,
it's possible to do it with one belt, you know.
yeah, it is. It is. You definitely can do it. I did have a question for you too, though. You know what? Do you think it'll be? Do you think it'll be easier for Floyd to make his own build, like our own section about it, or do you think it'll be easier for him to become like the face of one of the sanctioning bodies and like
I
just kind
think
of be like a manager over that one?
I think either or. I didn't mean to
yeah.
cut you off.
No, I was gonna say the same thing.
I was gonna say I think either or, but I was just gonna say real quick, sort of like how the Ring magazine is. A lot
Mm-hmm.
of fighters operate based off the Ring magazines because of their ranking system. You don't pay money for the Ring magazine, but it defines who's the man in that division with the lineal title. You know what I'm saying? That's basically what the Ring magazine represents, the lineal champion of each division. So if the Ring magazine belt is put up, is up for grabs in a certain fight, they're identifying those guys as the two men in the division, and the winner it becomes the definite man. So I think Floyd could create a title similar like that.
Yeah, I don't want it to be no sanctioning body. I want it to, you know, not copy the UFC, but you know, you take the blueprint, you know, just like boxing had a blueprint that UFC used. Some of they things, you know, take that what they doing. It's just Floyd have to take himself completely out the situation. No, he don't need the belt don't need to be named after him or none of that stuff like that. You know, it gotta be named something different to where it's not tied to him at all. The belt not tied to him, but we know the world know boxing know that Floyd created this. Floyd created this, but when you get it, you're not getting a Floyd Mayweather heavyweight. No, you know, you ain't getting the best ever. You know, none of that stuff that them acronyms that he used. You know, just a good name. You know, just the boxing heavyweight champion. You know, professional boxing, whatever. But I think he can do it and push them others out the way. But I mean, Like he got the power to do it. He definitely got the power to do it, and he the one. If anybody can do it, he can do it. He can create his own belt, and like I said, if he take himself out the equation, it can live for it can live that belt can live for a long time, and it'll correct the sport for sure. It'll correct the sport, and it'll correct them four kings and stuff they having. You're gonna have a pecking order. It's gonna be a certain order you gotta go to where we want Shakur, Tank, Devin, and whoever else number four. We want them four gotta fight each other. You know what I'm saying? And it'll take away how I'm complaining about Canelo making $30 million a fight and Terrence Crawford and Bud only getting $10 million. Well, this is guaranteed purchase. He getting $35 million and they getting 10 and 10. How, bro? This is the biggest fight in the last 30 years. He haven't, none of his fights haven't even came close to this. As far as these dudes fighting their prime, it's just no advantages on either side. They should be getting the most money. They should be getting that Floyd Mayweather Pacquiao money, I think, But, man, that's my I mean, I can talk about this stuff forever, man. I mean, because there's so much wrong with these sanctioning bodies and stuff, man. And they just need one belt. Deontay Wilder said one belt, one champion in the one division, so
right.
They just need to clean it up, man. They only need one champ, and the champ is show you I'm the best in this division instead of having to get all four belts. What I'm saying? Y'all don't think that's sad that the welterweight division been around this long? They never had undisputed champion.
I mean,
that's sad.
I think they have, but not in the full belt era. Yeah,
that's what I'm talking about. In the full belt era, they never had an undisputed champion.
Nah,
that's sad, bro.
I mean, then you really just got to question how do they get their licensing from? Like how do you even become a sanctioned and belt with all the, you know what I'm saying? That's what's wrong with boxing, even in the whole. Like, we can be mad at the sanction about it, but who is allowing these belts to come in circulation?
We know who is.
You know what I'm saying? Like,
we know.
Is it like the American Boxing Association? Like, where are these belts becoming like sanctioned? Like, where are they getting their license to become sanctioning bodies from? Like, where is that?
Right. We're gonna have to look into that.
Yeah, that'd be something we have to do our homework on, because I don't even know how, like, where all these belts are coming from. You know what I'm saying? Like, who let all these belts in boxing and why?
That's ridiculous, man. You got, some divisions you got to search to see who the champion is, who got a belt. You got to search.
Right.
And then you got
Jack, I think he got a cruiserweight. Badu Jack got a cruiserweight belt. That's why Canelo want to fight him.
Right.
And what are these, like you saying, what are these, like, regular, what is a regular champion, bro? I don't know, like, what is that? Like,
regular franchise.
That's crazy.
Regular franchise is super champion. What?
Reggie,
man, come on, man. Yeah.
It's that Reggie, dog.
So, I mean, it's just, man, that stuff it's killing the sport, man, and you get tired of seeing it. We small people compared to all of that stuff, but, we got a voice too. So, just voicing my opinion, I just think that stuff needs to be out of boxing. I think Floyd have the power, single-handedly, that he can bring his own belt to the sport and actually clean the sport up. He got the power to do it. I just don't know if he want to do it because, like I said, I don't think Floyd can get out of his own way to do it. I think he'll find some way to insert himself.
Man, Rob, some of these fighters can't get out their own way to even come together to do it. So
right. So that's my take on it, bro.